I was just gonna kind of tell the story, I guess. Yeah, unless you want to do interview. I mean, that's up to you. So this is a story about one of my best friends living with me in my own home, and how eventually he was arrested later in 2020, and what the ramifications were of that, how it affected me, and how I felt about it. This was somebody that was a high school friend that started out back in 2009 all the way up to 2020. Basically, I grew up with him, and I had a lot of fond memories with him. One of the things that made us so connected with each other is that we always played Super Smash Brothers. We would get really really stoned, and then we would play Super Smash Brothers together. And he would always choose Ike, and I would always choose Ganondorf, and 90% of the time I would win. And yeah, it was a fun thing. Like after I got off of work at Starbucks, I would give him like all these like coffee cakes and stuff, and he'd be so thankful. And I would support him through college by like, giving him like emotional support. He had like he has like a bachelor's degree in organic chemistry. Like this was somebody that like he wasn't dumb by any reason. He was misled, and I think he hung out with the wrong people at the time. After I had quit Starbucks, it was kind of rough for me starting out as a truck driver because I had to be alone a lot. That kind of left my friend alone for a long time, and I wasn't able to be there for him when he kind of needed me at some points in his life. In 2017, I was able to go and visit him in Ohio, where he was staying with his father, and he was working two jobs, and he was doing pretty well. But I had no clue that he was shooting up heroin. I had no clue that he was trying to maintain sort of a balance between, a lifestyle between like two places like that. And at one point, he was in a bit of trouble with his grandmother back then, and that's why he was in Ohio. That's why he was trying to start like a new lifestyle with his father. Then he moved back down to Florida. He was doing okay for a little bit, and then he was in a bit of a pickle again because of reasons, and he never really told me, so I didn't really know. I offered him to move into my place because his grandma was gonna kick him out, because he was accused of stealing things, and I didn't know who to believe. So I just like, well, you're my best friend, so I'd like you to live with me for a bit till you can get back up on your feet. And he was doing okay, but it was just kind of like he would go to work, he would come home, shoot up without my knowledge. He didn't tell. He would always spend like at least 2 or 3 hours in the front bathroom. Then he would, shoot up, go pass out on his bed and watch Netflix, and that was it. And that was his life for about 4 or 5 months while he lived here. And he had his cats here, he has his possessions here, he has like a lot of things here. And I feel like up until the very moment where he was getting arrested, I feel like maybe I could have been a better friend, or like I could have, kind of helped him. If he didn't hide that from me, I think we could have worked out something where he could have like peacefully made a resolution with him and his grandmother. But unfortunately, that's not what happened. And so right now he's kind of sitting in prison. Maybe he'll get out within a year or two for good behavior. A bunch of first degree felonies. It's not really. It's not the end of the world for him, but it's going to be very hard when he gets out. And I would like to be there for him when he does, even though he kind of lied to me, and then I gave him rides to all the pawn shops that he used to like pawn his grandmother's jewelry. It's kind of bad because I am still stuck with his possessions that are here. I'm still stuck with like the two cats that I'm forced to take care of, other than giving them to a shelter, and then they would be probably, they wouldn't survive. They wouldn't do too well. So I've been feeling a little emotional lately because of that. I see constant reminders of him, and I'm not really able to throw away or give out his stuff per se, because a lot of it his dad wants, and maintaining communication with him has been sort of difficult. The story is really butchered, and I tried my best to kind of like think chronologically like what happened, but this is the best of my recollection. Um, yeah. It came to me as a shocker because this is something that I thought he would have shared with me. This is something that I thought that he would have, in confidentiality, be able to, like, Pish, I'm struggling. I need help. I trust and I love you. Can you help me with that? I didn't get that from him. I never got that from him. And so when he was leaned back against my car with handcuffs behind his back, I kind of was in a shock moment, and then about a month later, I just kind of sat in front of my computer desk with the palms of my hands like around my eyes, and I just like started bawling. I just started like tearing, sobbing, like really, really badly for like a good hour, because it didn't all hit me until after everything transpired. Yeah, and then the ramifications from that, like I had to hire an attorney to come with me to get interviewed by a police detective, and it was a lot to take in, and it's something that has made me a little bit more experienced in life. I don't know, going through that kind of pain just wasn't great. Because he had such a loving personality, and he was very well animated. All like my family loved him. My mother and my stepfather, like they loved him, and so much so that like my stepdad like wanted to, fork over like $10,000 just to get him out of bail. I don't know. Like we were a part of a huge friend group, like that we always hung out together. We always went to parties together. We always like we were very close. We had a very close brotherhood, I guess you could call it, that we valued. We were just all so loving. We all gave each other hugs. Like we all like the reason why I value him is because and why I care so deeply is it's really really difficult to find a friend like that past like high school. And you try to keep the friends that you have if you can maintain them, because forging new ones is a difficult task for some. I mean, I have no problems making friends. But making like good long-term connections with people that you're like allowed to love, that is a task that can be tremendously difficult, and that is something that I want to maintain with him, no matter the flaws that I'm being presented with. So. So I've done a couple video calls with him through the jail complex, and I've had one of my other best friends come with me in front of like a webcam because they won't do like in-person calls. It was just like he is doing okay. He's doing like he does like 1,000 push-ups every morning. He doesn't eat the best, but he's surviving. But as far as like connecting back with him right now, it's been kind of difficult. I just kind of want to help him get to where he needs to be, and then just kind of leave him alone for a bit once he gets out. That's as far as connection as that I want to get with him in this current state right now. He doesn't need to live with me again. I can't go through that kind of pain. Um, I think he's gonna have a very tough time readjusting to society after he gets out of prison. I think getting a job with the amount of felonies that he has on his record will be um, arduous at best. What I'm going to do is, if he needs a ride up to Ohio, where his father lives, I will grant him that. I will, I'll spend my own gas money. I'll do whatever, get like a trailer. I'll rent out whatever equipment I need. I'll just help him move to relocate to his father, as far as that goes, and maybe give him a little bit of money just to help him survive. But other than that, I think he needs to spend a lot of time alone out of prison to kind of fix all of his problems. Then, when the time is right, I would like to reconnect with him. Yeah, because he's got a lot of healing to do. I'm still, I guess, trying to heal. So his family is almost non-existent. He doesn't really have anybody or a support group or anybody outside of like his friends that really like love and care for him. They saw my plight, and they saw me have to, support him, and they offered to give him monetary assistance, and I refused. Like I didn't need it. I had a pretty decent connection with his grandmother that filed the police report in the first place, and she went a little crazy after her grandson went to prison. So it's I try to keep communication with her at a minimum. But with our other friend group, with the friend group that we're connected with, some kind of resent me for taking the what little money he had out of his bank account and help paying for the attorney that I had to hire to help me get through the interview with the detective. One of them is really, really kind of upset with me that I did that, because I didn't have any money at the time, and I didn't know what I was going to do. And the other couple other friends were just so saddened about what happened, and that they felt just kind of powerless, that they couldn't do anything to help, and that they really felt for me, and that I was basically like, okay, it's me, my friend, and I'm kind of alone with this person. They have their bed next to mine in my own bedroom. They have their cats with them. They have like most of their all their possessions that they ever left with on Earth. Like, so they try to support me as best they could, but I just it felt more like a like I'm alone and I have to kind of like yeah. Sorry, I don't know what to say. I have I have one other friend that in real life that's been really supporting me a lot, and I don't think I would have been able to deal with it a lot without him. And he's been incredibly supportive of like making sure that we can get through this process is with with as less pain as possible. I think one day we'll all be like reunited in like a house, and we'll just have like a little get together, and maybe it'll be for Thanksgiving, maybe it'll be for Christmas, maybe New Year's. Maybe we'll have a couple drinks, who knows. As of right now, it's just it's been kind of painful. It's going to be definitely life-changing for him, and readjusting back to society is not something that is easy, especially when you have as many felons on your record as he does. But it's it's going to be a process. It's going to be painful, but gotta get through it.